Today, for the first time, we are being challenged in how we use the car. It is no longer an issue of ownership. It is no longer an issue of necessity. It is now a convenience. I started driving with a used 230 GE.
Wow.
Used to be the first civilian foray, if you remember, of the G-Wagon.
Yes.
It was a short wheelbase 230 GE with the tarpaulin roof.
How do you see how the business changed since then, especially in the automotive industry?
We are probably in the automotive industry facing the biggest challenge to the industry since I think the internal combustion engine got invented 130 odd years ago. The big challenge I think we face is in how the automobile is perceived. The automobile has been perceived in the same manner for 130 years. Today, for the first time, we are being challenged in how we use the car. It is no longer an issue of ownership. It is no longer an issue of necessity. It is now a convenience. And whatever is going to get me from A to B, I am going to use. Whether it's my car, whether it's a shared ride, whether it's a public transport, whether it is a electric, whether it's gas engined, the necessity of owning a car is no longer there. When I look at the next generation, when I look at my children, it's not necessary for them to own a car at 18. When we were 18, that was the one thing we all aspired to. And it's been like that ever since the car got popularized. The best car invented tomorrow will be the car that performs the function of moving people without necessarily appealing to their senses. And that has never been the case with cars before. It used to take over 5 visits to buy a car, to a showroom to buy a car. Today it's under 2 visits, 1 and 1.7 visits or so to buy a car, which means a lot of the decision making happens elsewhere.
Yes.
And it's just the confirmation. When a person buys a car, it's a confirmation. When he goes and sees it, it's a last look before writing the check.
The business model for both the brands that you represent and the dealer importer is changing, giving the mindset of today, but also giving the revolution that's coming, the EV and the AV. How do you see that happening?
Are we going to see a liberalization of the way that a car is sold? Traditionally, selling a car entails a lot of brick and mortar. A lot of investment in facilities, showrooms, workshops, spare parts, people, knowledge, technology. You need a lot of that investment. Now, let's fast forward 20 years. Will it be the same? Who knows? Tesla are out showing a model. Let's go back 100 years. General distributors, dealers started simply because manufacturers did not have the reach to get product out on a worldwide basis or a countrywide basis to every single customer out there. So they built a set of intermediaries peppered around the geography for them to be able to reach those customers. Now Tesla is challenging that, and they are coming up with the direct sales from the manufacturer. Now, is that scalable or not? Yet to be seen. And they may have been successful on a market-specific basis. You go to Southern California, you go to New York, yes, they are able to cover the whole market without there being a Tesla dealer.
Yes.
Can you do it US-wide? Can you do it Europe-wide? Can you do it worldwide? That is yet to be seen. And that model is being looked at very closely by all the principals. Bottom line, I think ultimately the dealer, the distributor has a intermediary role still to play. When I talk the language of GAC, I am talking a different language than when I talk Alfa Romeo or when I talk Mercedes. As a distributor, I have to talk a different language with all 3 brands. And arguably, even within a brand, I have to talk differently. So when I am selling an SUV in the same brand, I am maybe having a different conversation than a sedan.
The business of tomorrow, the people you may have today or the people you had yesterday may not be necessarily the right people for your business of tomorrow as the industry changes. What character traits would you say are important to have for people? Because of course in this region we have a challenge of attracting top talent, sometimes finding it, sometimes attracting it. And so what are some of those traits that you would be looking for to bring into your team, or you have to promote more to succeed in this changing?
I haven't settled on an answer to that, but it is something that we worry about every day. What traits? Because a traditional car person does not necessarily meet the requirement of the distributor of tomorrow. The talent is changing in the industry, and the Middle East is full of extremely capable automotive people that may find themselves out of the market because the market is shifting very quickly, unless they adjust, unless they embrace the new imperatives of the auto trade.
Now, you've been in a leadership position in the UAE. What advice would you give to other leaders within the region?
My advice is generic. I think it's just a lot of determination and perseverance. Whatever it is you are doing, I think it's not going to get done in that first go. It's not going to get done seamlessly from the beginning. I think once you've committed to a idea, a direction, a business, just going at it and continuously hammering through, and it's going to be choppy.
An interesting
in any industry. In any industry, there's no such thing as a dream industry or a dream job or a dream path. I think digital will play a role in automotive marketing. It's not there yet. I think there's a lot of trial and error. In the next 12 months, there's a lot of trial and error that will happen in how we market our cars. Business as usual is no longer an option. But where will it adjust to? What will be the trends? What will work? What won't work? I think that's all. We're all in discovery mode in this industry.